evolved, I guess. There's now, like, a whole... Oh! And then he just becomes Lingering Will.
There's no Heartless here.
Huh? But,
Whoa, chill, Sora. Just take
His
the
vocal
AR device
performance is
off.
more expressive than it's ever been.
Huh? Huh? Oh. Oh. Wow.
But yeah,
I have
there's
no
like
idea how
a
you're
kind
doing
of
it, but
obnoxious
this is cool.
attitude of like superiority.
But
Like
so far, the map data only
Like,
covers San Francisco.
I see this attitude of
need
like
to
nerds
expand it.
unironically calling other
Now,
nerds
Kiwi
nerds as an
Shuyo.
insult.
Not yet, friend.
Do you see Terra flying there? Do you see him? What? No, wait, that's Goofy? Well, and Donald, they're flying. They're just levitating. Aqua and Vin got like BTFO'd, and in their place were Psychic Donald and Goofy. Look at him! And look at Aqua and Vin just like phasing in and out of reality. Yeah, I'm with that guy. You see that guy with his mouth agape? That's me. That's me watching this cutscene. Look at Aqua and Vin continuously falling off the ship. Okay. I've just been thinking about Neil deGrasse Tyson randomly. And how people forget that, like, Twitter has a mute button, and that if you hate someone's account, you can mute or block them. Like, I think about that anytime someone complains about him. Like, fellas, if you think someone's, like, insufferable and annoying, mute them. I feel like there are, like, good reasons to dislike Neil deGrasse Tyson, like his, that legit credible allegations that came out against him. And then there are, like, stupid reasons. Okay, well, not stupid. Like, if someone's being, like, snarky and insufferable, then I've complained about people being that way on Twitter, so fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, you can just mute them. But, like, the burning hatred some people have, you'd think they knew about the allegations beforehand, but that'll be an afterthought, and the main reason they hate him is just because he's annoying. It's like, I think one of those is worse than the other, but okay. Suit yourself, I guess. I remember one time some dumb corporate Twitter account ratioed him, and everyone was like, even if you hate corporations, you gotta admit that's it's super cool watching him get taken down a peg. It's like, no, I don't have to admit that, actually. My dislike for an individual will My dislike for an individual will never outweigh my, oh my god. Dislike for corporations. Oh, my strength stat. Right. Wait, something was upping my strength stat. No, it was, okay. I don't need more AP. I think I'm good on that. Let me see. At this point, I think I do want more strength. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Wait, this also has HP Walker on it. Yo. And I'm gonna save again, just in case. Just in case I get another soft lock. But yeah. Corporation ratioed him, and everyone was like, yeah, you go, corporate Twitter. I love Brand. I'm gonna go eat at Brand right now, because they ratioed this guy I find annoying. It's like, okay, well, we know how easily you fall for propaganda. The very surface level marketing tactic has worked. I think there was a time when I was a teenager where I distinctly remember, like, when brand Twitter first became a thing, and brands were being, like, super snarky and sassy on Twitter, I thought it was the funniest thing, and I loved it. All my friends did, too. We didn't get that we were the advertisement. Like, we didn't get that this was all an elaborate advertising campaign that we were falling for. Like, I'd have friends who legit start buying, who'd start going to these restaurants more out of, like, loyalty, to the brand because of their sassy Twitter antics. And it's like, oh my god, how did we not see how we were getting played? Like, it's so obvious in retrospect that this was just all a big marketing, like a shallow, soulless marketing tactic.
Hope it's learned some new tricks.
How did we fall for
Now
this?
it's gotta face all of us.
That's right.
Freddy want to destroy.
And I watched a Vinesauce
Our
Joel
probability
video
of
where he was
success
talking about
is
that,
you
and he was
don't
like,
have to crunch the numbers,
guys,
Baymax.
like, he basically pointed out the obvious, which is, guys, this
It's
is a
not the sum
giant
of our
advertisement
parts.
campaign. Wendy's
It's the
isn't
sum
your
of our
friend.
parts.
They're duping you when you're falling for it. Like, enthusiastically falling for it. And I was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Wendy's is my
Adds
friend.
up to what?
You hate fun.
Show me.
Why was I so blind? Never has Joel been so right and I've been so wrong. Like, obviously, this is a big, dumb campaign. So yeah, I've muted all those corporate accounts, and I refuse to give them any of that engagement. I like that slideshow of Riku hitting the dark cube, by the way. That was a great
there.
PowerPoint presentation.
What?
The sound
This pile
effects
of junk
and the
collected
voices
the
aren't
data
too...
we needed.
Remember that one...
The terror of being attacked without warning.
I distinctly remember one
The
Kingdom
despair
Hearts
of
3
having
trailer
no
that came
place to
out,
run.
and all people could talk
The
about was
longing
no
for
sound
vengeance.
effects. Now, don't get me wrong, the trailer wasn't very good.
It's working together.
It was just kind of one of those things they released to hold people over while they were waiting for the game to come out.
Trusting friends.
Just like random pieces of gameplay
In
footage that
every
didn't really
heart,
show
there's
anything
hope.
new.
Yes.
Well,
You're right.
Huh?
That's why I made
well,
sure
actually,
our
no. The problem is
creation
that they show
fought
too
you.
much in
Now
a lot of
the
the
data
trailers, but like,
contains a complete heart.
it wasn't a
heart made from
well put
conflict.
together trailer.
That can't be real.
But the
was it
main
you
thing
said?
everyone latched onto and would
I
not
only
shut
have
up
to
about
see
was,
it
where are the
for it
sound
to
effects?
become real.
Sound effects where?
So, let's see it.
It's like, guys, there are a million problems here. I think the lack of sound effects is like at the bottom of the list.
First, we need a vessel.
Oh,
What's going on?
here's
Another
another
dark cute
topic
boy?
I've been thinking of lately.
As bad as the last one.
Ow, ow, ow.
It could be a trick.
It doesn't matter how intelligent a person is if they're mainly arguing out of spite. The biggest example of this is when ex-YouTuber or internet personality will like say something and people do not like that they said that thing for like varying reasons. Like maybe it's a case of the thing they said was bad but people blew it out of proportions, or like well, yeah, that actually is how it is most of the time. Like, the thing they said was bad, but people blew it out of proportions. So, like, out of spite towards the people who got mad at them for saying, insert thing here,
Baymax.
they double, triple, and quadruple down on saying it.
Lost his heart.
All the while making,
He
like,
won't
the
wake up.
worst arguments you've heard in your entire
He's not
life.
a puppet. Baymax is like my family.
Like,
Please. Give me
they'll
back my friend.
claim,
Yes.
like, there's no real
I
art,
did
like,
promise
it's...
I'd put this back
They'll
where
make
I
it. They'll
found
make it very clear that they're saying it more out of spite, because they won't even. Like the time that they said it and got in trouble for it will have been like they wouldn't have said it that often beforehand, but suddenly once they get people, once they learn that people are get mad about that, suddenly they
Sora,
begin using it
You're
like
the one
5
who's going
times
to
as
complete
frequently.
This heart.
Yeah, right.
It's like really obnoxious and
You
like
can't have a heart
petty
without
and spiteful and
sadness,
immature and
without
childish.
loss.
Like
see,
honestly, the
You're
attitude
going to destroy
behind
Hero's friend
the spiteful,
right
petty
in front of
attitude
him.
behind people doing stuff like that bothers me more than the use of language itself.
Oh no.
Remember, guys, it's just a piece of the armor. Don't freak out. If it was really shaped like that, you'd be able to see it when he was wearing the pants.
Hero, tell us, what should we do?
I think I chipped my tooth somehow.
Baymax means everything to me. But that
I'm
chip
probably gonna have to
isn't
get
who
that
he
checked
is.
out.
I already made this mistake.
But anyway,
before.
yeah. And when you can tell when
wouldn't want there
someone's
to be a Baymax that
arguing-
hurts people.
is he throwing it back? What is that
Sorry.
camera angle?
He has to be stopped.
But basically, yeah, like
Okay. Help
they'll
Gogo and
when
the others.
arguing in favor of saying
You
whatever
can lead
dumb
this
thing
guy
they're
to
saying,
us.
they'll be doing it out of spite. Like the actual arguments don't matter. What matters is you guys made me angry by saying I can't say this thing, so now I'll say it more to make you mad. And when pressed about it,
no!
they'll basically admit
Sora,
that. They'll
take
say something
Baymax.
along the lines of,
Okay,
"Oh, I just think it's
Baymax.
funny that people freak out about this because
I am ready.
they're not really mad about it. They're just trying to look good." Like with no confirmation, they won't listen to the actual arguments that the people make about why saying blank thing is wrong. They'll just insist that they're being dishonest about their like real intentions. And sometimes you can call out some form of like dishonesty or hypocrisy if there actually is some there. But they won't do anything to prove that these people are being dishonest. they'll just aggressively insist upon it. Like, I think yesterday I was making an argument about how people will contradict themselves by insisting they have, like, an objectively right viewpoint, but then say objectivity doesn't exist. And the whole point of it is, like, they think having uninteresting opinions, or having controversial or unpopular opinions makes you interesting and they like to argue. I actually used other things they've said and other pieces of, like, telling... I basically used instances of when they told on themselves to come to that conclusion. In cases like these, they won't have any evidence behind their claim that people don't actually care. They'll just insist upon it. They will insist on saying, no, they don't actually think this. They think this other thing. And it's like, where's your source? Their source is that they made it up. They don't want to have to engage with the other person's argument, so they'll just insist they're arguing in bad faith. And if you convinced yourself so much that the other person is arguing in bad faith, no matter how many good faith arguments they give you, it won't be enough. I think I've encountered another softlock. I think it was Aqua and Ventus being present that for some reason softlocks the game here. Even though Donald and Goofy aren't even in this upcoming fight. I'll wait a few more minutes before I reset the game and take them out, but... yeah. Basically, like... I heard this one guy double down on saying something because, oh yeah, people are just pretending to be upset by it, and provide zero actual evidence for that. But then when someone says, okay, well I think you're just saying it out of spite towards people who are upset by it, they were like, no, how could you say that about me? This is a genuine, sincere expression of my distaste for blah blah blah, whatever. And it's like, how come you get so butthurt when someone insists that you're doing something out of bad faith, but you insist that the people arguing against you are arguing in bad faith while presenting zero evidence of that point? Like, that's pretty transparently dumb as an argument. Like, just not respecting the intelligence of your of the other person enough to, like, actually engage with whatever argument they're making. Just, like, defaulting back to the dumb, oh, you wouldn't last 5 seconds in a Call of Duty lobby. It's like, yes, we should all... One, I had kids literally call me the hard R N-word in high school. I've experienced things, so... whatever, very presumptuous, but anyway. Also, maybe a lot of people did survive COD lobbies, and that's why they're tired of that, because eventually you grow up and mature, and you get sick of the way that you spoke in COD lobbies as a 14-year-old. Like, maybe as grown adults, we shouldn't model the way we speak after 14-year-olds in COD lobbies, you know? Like, maybe we should, you know, mature and grow up a little. I don't know why Aqua and Vin would softlock this segment when they don't even show up, when Donald and Goofy don't even show up in this upcoming segment. I think it's clear now that I have to reset this. Yeah, I'm wasting more time trying to wait for this than just resetting it. But yeah, like, it's basically the rhetorical equivalent of, I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. The worst elements of how I spoke and behaved as a child, yeah, I want to imitate those well into my adulthood. I never want to stop talking like that, ever. It's like, okay, maybe the 14-year-old, like, COD gamers will think you're cool for saying that, but, like, you could just treat people with, you don't have to, like, imitate the exact way people talk in order to gain their respect. You could, like, just be respectful towards them? I don't know. Okay, let me close the game. Like, if I wanted to gain the respect of an Australian, I wouldn't suddenly start putting on a phony Australian accent. Like, that's silly logic. Oh, they'll also try to find instances... I've heard this person who points out that people, will try pointing out hypocrisy without any, like, actual real point behind it. as a way to obfuscate a point during an argument when you don't want to engage with the actual debate itself. And guess what they did when someone started debating with them about their use of like a certain phrase? They pointed out an instance of like quote unquote hypocrisy. Basically their whole argument was like they thought that, or at least pretended to think, because I know basically their whole argument was, well, you don't get upset when gay people use the F slur. It's like, now hold on a minute, sir. Like, context matters with stuff like this. The argument isn't using any piece of negative language in any context is bad. It's using this specific word in this specific context is bad. That way. Like, are you pretending to be stupid? Your argument here is basically that context doesn't matter. And if you're okay with something in any other context, that's hypocrisy, even if the context changes what the instance is. Like, and this was coming from someone who I know is smart enough, to know better than to, make such, like, a transparently dumb argument. I just think they don't respect the intelligence of the people they're arguing against enough to actually make good arguments. Or maybe they're just resorting to those types of arguments because they know that they're wrong. Like, they can't pull out anything good. They just want to be able to do this dumb thing and not be questioned about it. So when pushed about it, they resort to the worst arguments ever. Pointing out, like, ignoring context to make very simple, logical decisions seem like hypocrisy. When, if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, it's not hypocrisy at all. Accusing the opponent of arguing in bad faith and just plugging your ears and ignoring them when they actually put out what their arguments are. And then suddenly, when someone else does that to you, acting like it's the most, like, offensive thing ever. I don't know, it's just like a dumb, like, Rick Sanchez, I'm smart so I don't have to think about the things I do. If I do something, it must be good, and if someone disagrees with me, they must just be too dumb and, like, offended to get the brilliance behind what I'm actually doing. Like, I'm an intelligent person, so what I'm doing must be intelligent, even if it's dumb. And, like, good intelligent people can fall into really dumb mindsets if they're arguing out of spite. If you make them mad by saying that this thing they used to say as a kid is now not okay to say anymore, they'll get angry, they'll get spiteful, and insist on saying it more, even if they don't have a good argument for it. And maybe they really do have a point that, like, whatever thing they said wasn't the worst thing ever, and, like, people blew it out of proportions. The internet tends to do that a lot. Individuals can express nuance, but a group kind of falls into hive mind a lot of the time and loses that ability. But, oh, for the love of God, I closed the game. I might just upload this as its own segment and call it, like, spite makes you bad at arguing. But yeah, basically my end point is, if the thing you're arguing from is spite, no matter how intelligent you are, you're gonna start making just awful arguments. It still says the game is running, even though I closed it like 2 minutes ago. Cool. And yeah, like, That basically, I think people, there's like this attitude on the internet that like, if people, like you, by not saying the thing, people will think that like, I don't know, you're compromised. You've been like cucked essentially by the PC woke mob or whatever. So in order to look like a big strong man, you have to say it twice as much, because if you don't say it anymore, they'll think they won, they got you. And you gotta project this image of strength that you can't be silenced or compromised in any way, you know. Which is why you gotta say it more often. You gotta let them know that you will not be scared away from this dumb thing that you should have stopped doing after you turned 15. It's like, you know, people are flawed. People are not, like, I get it. People are, like, everyone has their issues. People are flawed. But the spite thing is when you go outside of the simple, I just did this because it's something that I, like, spite is intentional. Like, what makes spite bad is that it has intentionality behind it. Like, it means that you thought it through and rationalized it. It's not like arguing through spite. Even if it makes you make the dumbest arguments ever, you have to put, like, it's like trying to rationalize your worst personality traits. The parts of you that are like immature, petty, and spiteful, trying to say, no, I need to hold on to those, and trying to argue fiercely against anyone who tries to suggest that maybe those aren't the best traits you should stick with. Like, it's not the fact that, like, people are flawed, like people are flawed and stuff, but it's the decision. What I hate is the spiteful decision to lean more into those flaws. Purely out of spite, and, like, for what? What's it gonna, like... You could teach people how to, like, respond to situations without blowing them out of proportions, and that would actually, like, improve things. But what does doubling down on saying something stupid, actually do for us as people? Like, what does you insisting that you say this phrase more actually do? That can't be accomplished by, like, better means. You get to laugh at the people who get mad at you for it and feel intelligent and superior. And that's it. It's, like, fully self-serving. I do agree that people need to learn how to respond to things in a more level-headed way. And, like, do a better job of rationalizing their feelings, but, like... The answer is not to get super petty and spiteful about it and say, like, oh yeah, you're mad about it? I'm gonna say it more now. Like, that's so immature. And I'm intentionally vague posting right now, because I don't want to, like... I don't want to just give... Like, I know... I mean, this whole thing in the beginning with started because this person was getting flack. And it's a person who I think is intelligent, who I think is very good at what they do, who I have a lot of respect for. But it's like, God, they hold on to their negative traits so hard because when people point them out, they think that somehow improving on them would, like, make them compromised or cucked. And part of me gets why they have this mentality, because of the way they've been treated online. But, like... Is the answer really to just double down on all the worst aspects of your personality? And, like, intentionally lean into them in this, like, Rick Sanchez act? Like, you don't have to get on your hands and knees and beg for forgiveness anytime people get mad at you for saying something. but you also don't have to intentionally try to provoke them. And if your whole argument for saying something is, I think it's funny when you get offended by it, then people are gonna think you're just saying it to provoke them, because you don't provide any good argument. Unless you were pushed into it, and then you provide a very, like, silly surface level one. Like, what happened to just calling people idiots? Like, why can't you just call people morons? Like, when did it become passe and out of fashion and, like, too soft to just call someone stupid? Like, when did we start requiring, like, advanced levels of that? Like, I'm not saying no one should ever say anything mean to anyone ever, regardless of what the other person's doing. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe it is good to make sure that a random other group doesn't get caught in the crossfire of you just wanting to call another guy stupid. Like, I think that's a decent argument, but whatever. What do I know? Everyone has their First Amendment rights. You know, you can say whatever you want. It's fine. But other people have the right to criticize you in the same vein, so.
Hope it's learned some new tricks.
But yeah, like, starting out, just like, I won't even be thinking that the thing, I'll just say, like, for me personally, it could just simply be a thing of, okay, them saying that was stupid. Hopefully they can just, like, I don't know, at least learn to not say it on camera anymore. But other people will blow it out of proportions. Will blow it way out of proportion. And then in response to other people blowing it out of proportion, they'll be like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna say it like 3 times as much now. And the reason why I'm keeping it vague is both because I don't want to give, like, a specific online personality crap, and 2, because it's a situation that happens, like, all the time with so many different people, with so many different internet personalities, that I feel like by keeping it vague, I could be talking about anyone, and it would be, like, you could just, like, fill in the blanks with whoever this applies to, and it'll probably be accurate, because, yeah. And the piece of language people get mad at them for will be, like, it's something that they could very well do without, you know? Like, it's not it's not like people are trying to stop you from saying the word the. Like, you'll be fine. But whatever. I don't think someone using, like, bad language is the end of the world. I just think, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it would be better if you just didn't say that. You know? And you're making it worse by making it, like, by making a huge deal out of it and deciding to say it, like, 8 times as much. Oh, great, my frame rate is doing that thing again. I really don't know how to fix that, like... Ow, ow! I looked away for 2 seconds and got, like, shotgun blasted. Oh boy, yeah, I wasted a lot of time with technical difficulty nonsense, so I'm probably only going to be able to go until, like, 9. Man, I was doing so good in the last stream, like, I was gonna beat the whole entire... Ow. Ow, okay. Aerial dodge. Okay. There. You can spawn this guy in when you're not playing as Baymax, and, like, he works surprisingly well just as an on-foot boss battle. Like, I get why they did it this way, but, like, if they wanted to go the other way, they could have done that.
We'll stop him together. Understood.
But yeah, that's my whole rant about that. Like, it really isn't important to be able to say, like, dumb stuff. People just insist upon saying it as much as possible because they know it makes people mad. and they'll get a huge reaction out of it, and they feel like they'll be, like, being castrated if they're not allowed to say this dumb thing for some stupid reason. Because, like, everyone online has to have a massive ego nowadays. Humility is dead. Self-reflection is dead as well, I guess. Oh, please let those hit him and do a bunch of damage. Oh, yeah, that was great. Wow. That second one charged up fast. Like, I was barely done with the first one before the second one started up. But like, yeah, I just think, like, how would the world be better if you were just allowed to say this and without anyone... Like, you're already allowed to say it. Like, TOS, you won't get a TOS violation for saying certain things. So you're not facing any actual consequences, just a certain group of people will rightfully point out that that's an unnecessary thing for you to say. I think I beat him. Yeah, I beat him. Just a group of people will rightfully point out that that's not a cool thing for you to say. And that's it. That's the only consequence. How would the world be improved if those people basically, I guess, just went silent and stopped criticizing you ever? Like, everything remains the same except people just don't criticize you for, like, dumb uses of language. Like, would everyone just start saying the thing with complete impunity? Like... Like, maybe the world would be better if people stopped thinking, hey, maybe I shouldn't say this thing because it, you know... Like, if people reflected on the things they said less and tried not to move on from certain things they said as a kid that they didn't really think much about. Like, would the world be way better if we just didn't do that? Like, we became less introspective and more willing to double and quadruple down on things when criticized? Like, would that be a better world?
Safety mode kicks in if he's put under too much stress. So he's probably just
I don't know, I think it's just better to let certain things go. Just move on.
We'll have to destroy the chip if we want to be certain.
Or at least do something while accepting that you will always receive criticism.
Dude,
rightful
you
criticism
don't need to
for
go
it.
that far.
Maybe we can find
Like-
another way.
Yeah, just accept that if you say a thing, a certain segment of people are gonna not be okay with it.
It's the right thing to do.
If you don't want people to give you a hard time for something, don't do the thing. But if you do the thing, expect people to give you a hard time for it. You know? Especially when the thing is just stupid and unnecessary, you know?
Tadashi would have done the same thing.
It's just all a thing of spite and ego. There's no... It's not coming from a logical, sense-making type of place.
But Hero, isn't that
Even if
Baymax's
it's...
heart?
The person making the arguments is, like, intelligent. If you're arguing from a place of spite, then...
That's okay.
Yeah. You'll
Baymax
fall into certain
is
bad
here.
habits. And your pride will become
I
so attached to whatever
should
bad
be the
argument
one.
you're making that you will just... It becomes such like a sticking point to not ever let go of this thing. And the more you do it, the more important it becomes to keep doing it. Like, I think if these people just said it once, got a hard time for it, were like, okay, that sucks, but whatever, and then just moved on, that would just be the end of it. They don't have to, like, get on their hands and knees and apologize or whatever. They just need to go, okay, whatever. Like, just... don't even acknowledge it if you don't want to.
Come on.
Who's gonna repair him?
Just one of them. Come on, please.
He's my personal healthcare companion.
Just go like, okay, people are mad about this, whatever. That sucks. Shrug, move on. And then, yeah. Oh, no name, here it is. We got that. Someone was at, Spartan was asking about that. And yeah, just don't make a big deal out of it. Like, the problem the other people were making is that they were making a huge deal out of it. So if you make a huge deal out of it too, you're doing the same thing, but in reverse. You're reflecting the dumb attitude. Like, you're reflecting everything that was bad about the thing that the other people were saying. You reflect... so, like, they were rightfully criticizing you, but the dumb thing was that they were blowing it out of proportion. By blowing it out of proportion with your response by being all spiteful and tripling down on it, you're doing the exact same dumb thing in reverse. You're reflecting stupidity back at the person doing the dumb thing and expecting that to somehow make things, like, better. Like, what improvement are you expecting to see from that? And maybe they aren't expecting improvement. Maybe I'm thinking about their stances more than they actually are when I go out of my way to question stuff like this. Because when you're being spiteful, you don't... Red's rants never left. I do be ranting quite frequently. But yeah, I don't think it's a massive deal. I just think it makes, like, it's kind of insufferable. Like, I was trying to watch that person's content today, and they were still just so being so insistent on using it. Just unnaturally as often. Like, they've been using it way more often than they did before people call them out for it. And it's, like, kind of insufferable. Like, dude, move on. It's been months. People criticized you for a thing. You thought it was stupid. Whatever. Move on. Because you were not using it that much before people called you out for it. And now you've turned it into, like, a personality trait. Like, if you think other people are being crybabies about something, you don't fix it by trying to cry harder than them. And this cutscene's not gonna have much modded stuff in it. These people are making a mountain out of a molehill. I'll show them. I'll make an entire continent out of one. That'll fix things. Like, use your head.
What?
But yeah, thus concludes my rant about people needlessly doubling and tripling down on, like, stuff. Particularly pieces of bad language, you know.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, I think.
When I say pieces of bad language, I
Nobody
basically
knows
mean,
the
like,
twists and turns
slurs.
of Twilight Town better than us.
Not like normal curse words, but like,
Roxas's friend.
you know, lower tier slurs.
That's
like, not
right.
as bad as, like, the F
So you
slur
know him
N-word,
too?
but, like, still pretty bad.
Oh yes, quite well.
Like, there are contexts which you could say those words
Guess
and
it
get
was
away
worth
with it.
staking out the old mansion after all, because this guy here.
But the
is what
people
I
who
call
double and
elite.
triple down on it are using it in the one context where it's not okay to say.
That's the only proof we have that Roxas was our
And
friend.
insisting that they say it that way. I'm just waiting for Vexen to show up.
About him. We want to know him better.
I don't have to. Oh, wait. It won't be as cool since Aqua and Vin aren't there. I kind of want to show the cutscene where Sora gets on his, or well, Terra changes into his lingering will form. Because I skipped that cutscene and then regretted it. Man skips cutscene, instantly regrets it. Let me, before I do that, I'll go to... Won't make the mistake of trying to go to Olympus again. Just to be extra safe, I'll go here. Oh, there's a continuation of that story. That's funny. Yeah, one of the strongest guys in the series can't handle, like, what, 1, 2, 3... 10 shadows? Natural selection. Dang. Okay. Save. So that the game doesn't screw me with this one. And... Okay, I'll go to the title screen, and it should be... Okay, theater, yes. Big Hero 6 World. Oh, the AR device. That should be the one. These cutscenes aren't just, like, videos. They get rendered in real time, so whatever modded content I have gets shown off through them. Which is cool, but it also means that I can't fast forward through this stuff because it's being made in real time.
Not cool.
People like spectacle, not truth.
Yeah, who needs quality reporting when you can just make stuff
So
up?
I'll let this rock until it gets to the part.
Didn't they see how awesome we were? Sure, those things landed a couple of good hits.
Okay, and this
But we had
time,
chem balls
Donald and
and
Goofy are
laser
gonna be
hands
here
And fire breathing.
instead of Aqua and Vin.
Well, it really didn't matter. They beat us.
Where'd they come from?
Well, why don't we ask the guys who actually stopped them?
Hiro, you never introduced
Oh,
us.
what else has been happening lately? Oh, not E3 has still been happening.
This is the gang.
And I gotta say, man, it really is not E3.
He's Wasabi.
How you doing?
And that's Honey Lemon.
Hello there.
What? I'm Fred. Don't be alarmed. This is not my real body.
Good.
I had a friend in high school that looked
For a
exactly
second,
like
I
Fred,
thought
except
that
they
was
were
a
real.
monster.
I probably told that story before. Not much of a story, just like
Sora,
an antidote.
Donald, and Goofy. The,
Keyblade Hero 3.
I'm detecting minute contractions in your faces and shoulders, perhaps due to the garage's brisk temperature. To remedy that, I will give each of you a hug and warm you with my internal heat source.
There was some cool stuff announced for Resident Evil 8
Sora, you
in
know
Capcom's
darn well I don't have
presentation.
Keyblades.
I didn't watch
So-
all of it,
Are we heroes?
all of Capcom's thing. It was a lot of what you'd
monsters.
expect. Ace
Tell
Attorney,
us how you
Monster
managed to
Hunter,
take them down.
their two favorite franchises ever.
They're called the Heartless, and they're drawn to the darkness.
Those two got a
inside
lot of
people's
attention.
hearts.
Like I said, RE8
Now
got
we're
cool
talking.
stuff.
light versus
like a new
darkness.
scenario,
Classic conflict.
third-person
Will you
mode,
calm down, Fred?
new
This is
playable
serious.
characters in the little
Very
mercenary
serious.
mode.
We don't have any way to
No
fight
one was
them.
gonna tell me that one
Wait,
guy's name was
so we're just gonna
Heisenberg.
give up? With our current skill set, my analysis places our
You weren't gonna
chances
tell
at
me that Walter White was in this
0.00000.
Yep,
Or
we
in that
get it,
game?
Baymax.
Hey, don't sweat it. The three of us will go take care of the Heartless for you. Donald? Goofy?
Wait. We're going too.
There's just something so eerie about Sora, A-pose Sora spinning around like that.
We have to help. My brother would have.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Nothing about this is
but
right.
Don't we need a plan?
We train up. When heroes are brought low, they get new powers. It's Shugyo time.
Did you read that in Geeks Quarterly?
Fred's actually not wrong.
Oh, last thing I want to rant about before I head out. I was talking last time I streamed Kingdom Hearts 3, I was talking about like
Yeah.
how
Cool, huh?
oh, this
It
guy's from
creates a
2005, he
CG
doesn't know what
overlay that augments
AR
your
is.
vision.
Lamau.
While you wear it, this device sees everything
Yeah,
you do
like
and logs
how
it.
like geek culture became big and
You
how it like
put it on
fell
your
off. Or like how it evolved, I guess. There's now like a whole and then he just becomes Lingering Will.
There's no Heartless here.
Huh? But,
Whoa, chill, Sora. Just take
His
the
vocal
AR device
performance is
off.
more expressive than it's ever been.
wow.
But yeah,
I have
there's
no
like
idea how
a
you're
kind
doing
of
it, but
obnoxious
this is cool.
attitude of like superiority.
But
Like
so far, the map data only
Like,
covers San Francisco.
I see this attitude of
need
like
to
nerds
expand it.
unironically calling other
Now can we
nerds
shoot
nerds as an
yo?
insult.
Not yet, Fred. He's
Like
still
both
learning.
literally and spiritually.
Sora, all you
Like,
need
there's
to
an
do is
entire
run through
class
some
of
courses that
guy
Hero scripted,
Who like
like a minigame.
who are like
We'll put a tracer
yeah,
on
I
your
have
movements so we can
anime figures and body pillows.
so we can shoot
But
you.
like I'm not like the other guys who have anime figures and body pillows. I'm not cringe like them.
We could probably use
Like,
the
okay, yeah,
practice.
sure, dude. Yeah. I'm not one of those losers who have every single hobby that I have and
I'm
participate in
installing new combat
regularly.
data.
Hey,
Like, people will be into the exact same
Just try it
things as
out.
other people and try to feel superior about it because they don't do it in a way that's quote-unquote cringy. Like, people who unironically insist that, who partake in the whole, like, waifu culture thing, but insist that it's less cringy because they call them best girls instead of waifus. Like, yeah, dude, that slight change in terminology completely changes it. Like, no, I don't refer to it like that. Embarrassing people do that. I'm not embarrassing, so I call it a slightly different thing, even though it's fundamentally the same. Okay, dude. Alright. Alright, didn't get much done today. Just completed that one world, basically. Yeah, sorry about that. More Mario. Well, actually, I should probably stream this game again next, since I didn't do much in it today. But yeah, more progress next time. Okay. Now I'm live proper. Yesterday I streamed for only 2 minutes to explain why I couldn't stream longer. Today will be a proper live stream. Planning to go for around an hour, hour and a half. Get through as much as the Pirates world as I can, and I already remember to take out all of the mod menu mods so that the game doesn't crash. Okay. And now that I have everything set up, let me just... So there was some pretty big Final Fantasy VII news. Was it like either early today or late yesterday, something like that. Final Fantasy VII Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, Rebirth. I love how it opens with that don't focus on the past, focus on the future message. Because there are a lot of people so fixated on what Final Fantasy VII was for them when they grew up that any changes or additions to the remake would like just destroyed it for them. And I felt like that was like a very subtle message to those people. Also, for the people who wanted like an exact remake of Final Fantasy VII just with like slightly better graphics, it looks like Square is literally doing that. The only caveat is that they're doing it for a freaking mobile game. When like, that would be the perfect type of game to release on the Switch. Instead, they're releasing Ever Crisis on the Switch, which like, I mean, I guess is neat, but like, I don't know, that remake feels like a perfect Switch game, and then it's just like a mobile thing so far, which is disappointing, but hey, if you desperately just wanted an exact remake of FF7 with no tweaks to the plot or whatever, here you go. Here it is. Now let us have our fun... Oh, I waited through that whole thing just to see if I could get, like, Pirate Terra, and I didn't. No. 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 No, my cat is terrorizing me. It's just a closed door. All your toys are inside this room. Everything you could ever desire. Your litter box, your food, your toys, your scratch post. Come on, be reasonable. Negotiate a little, please. Huh, so this is the pirate outfit they went for with Terra. Just normal Terra with the organization clothes. Interesting. But yeah, that's very fascinating.
Where'd we end up this time?
Oh yeah, they're doing cool stuff with Zack, Ever Crisis, and all that. And they showed a clip of what looks like young Sephiroth. Now we got tricked a few years back with First Soldier, because they showed a gray-haired character that looked like young Sephiroth, but Nomura confirmed it wasn't him. But now, Nomura, I think, has confirmed that Ever Crisis will feature a sequence with young Sephiroth, meaning that short-haired, silver-haired guy actually is young Sephiroth this time around. Which should be interesting. I like the whole thing they're doing. With like time and everything.
There, Sora.
Huh? Jack Sparrow!
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Wait a minute, are Aqua and Vin
Sure
gone?
is.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Oh
Jack,
no, wait.
where are we?
Uh-oh. Do I have to put them back in?
Ship absconding.
Oh no, wait. I forgot to put Aqua and Vin back into the game. Oh no.
Aye,
Oh,
Captain.
crap, wait. Oh no. Ah, that's unfortunate. I thought everything was all ready. I did not catch the fact that, I did not catch that. I somehow did not catch the fact that I had the wrong party members in my crew. Oh, that is extremely unfortunate. Okay, now I gotta reset. But yeah, there are a lot of people for whom, like, the original plot of FF7 was sacred, and any additions to that, or, like, changes would automatically make it inferior. No matter how good of a job they do with, like, no matter how good of a job they may have done with, additions made to certain characters or plot lines, just, if they change stuff, then it's automatically bad. Which I never liked the idea of. I also never got the people who are like, the original FF7 was very grounded and realistic, which is why Advent Children was disappointing because people were doing backflips. It's like, if you don't like... It's just a closed door, sweetie. Come on. There are plenty of reasons not to like FF7 Advent Children, but the action sequences shouldn't be one of them, because the original FF7 has a sequence in which a guy who hasn't even gotten his superpowers yet gets stabbed through the gut, but holds the guy, the super soldier who stabbed him through the gut, up using their own sword and then tosses them across the room. They do this before they got their superpowers. So, like... And there are also the crazy looking elaborate summon sequences in that game. And the fact that you fought, like, giant incarnations of the Earth's wrath. So yeah, I don't know if the original FF7 was ever this super grounded, realistic story where nothing insane or over the top ever happened. So if that's the reason you're mad about Advent Children, then you might be mad at the wrong reasons. Like, you may just have problems with the original FF7 in that case. It's the same thing with people who get super mad at Twin Snakes because of the over-the-top action sequences. You guys realize that the original Metal Gear had, like you were playing as a super soldier fighting an android robot-enhanced Ultra Ninja, who you beat up with your bare hands, while a guy in the background peed themselves and talked about his Japanese anime. I don't think that was a very, like, serious, a very serious, grounded plot line. You know? Like, some of the stuff is a bit too excessive, I can admit that, but, like, if your whole complaint is that the original Metal Gear Solid was incredibly grounded, and Twin Snakes ruins all of that, I don't know about that. Okay. The autosave is back at the world map, which means we'd have to wait through that loading sequence again. Whatever, let's just do it. Man, I thought I perfectly made it so that we'd be able to avoid the load screens, but... Oh, okay, well that one went by fast, but... But yeah, I don't mind super over-the-top, stuff. If it happened in a series like Breaking Bad, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Like, if during that one infamous fight scene in Ozymandias, the two characters involved, and if you've watched the show and know the episode I'm talking about, you know exactly what two characters. if they suddenly started doing like crazy backflips and busting out like insane martial arts techniques, that would be god awful. Because Breaking Bad up to that point had never been the type of show where stuff like that happened. And it had never been established that these characters had any type of like enhancements. Like we were up to that point, we're supposed to believe that they were not only regular people, but like not particularly in shape people either. So that would have been stupid. But for a series about like superpowered individuals in like over the top sci-fi fictional scenarios, I can accept them having like enhanced abilities. Cause like honestly, why wouldn't they? Like I'm not gonna pretend that something unrealistic is like doing more than it is. Now, if you have a specific problem with something that happens within those unrealistic sequences, that's one thing. But if your whole entire problem is that it's over the top, then for instance, if it kind of takes you out of it that at one point Snake literally jumps on top of a missile, yeah, maybe that's making him feel a bit too even for like a genetically enhanced super soldier. Maybe that's being a bit too excessive. Okay, sure. But I by no means think that ruins the whole entire, like, plotline. Okay. So this scene should be the same, except Aqua and Vin should be present. As soon as we see them, I'm gonna skip into gameplay. Yep, no Donald and Goofy.
Where'd we end up this time?
There's also the thing I've talked about where there's like certain types of viewers who dismiss everything as stupid.
We've been
And I've never been... Okay, I'll just skip into gameplay. Oh, there they are. Wow, the whole, like, realistic shading textures apply to Vin and Aqua. Like, and Terra too, if you look at them. But yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting that.
Who's shooting at us? Here comes some more.
Get away, you barnacles.
I think I'm going faster than the game anticipated.
That's who's doing this.
No one said you could use my ship.
Okay, the camera was having a fun time catching up with those guys. Oh, Ventus got locked out.
Say goodbye.
Oh, looks like Aqua was allowed in. And she just decimated the enemy I was targeting. Not that I mind the help. Come here. Oh, I just noticed the dark particle effects that come out when you,
You're done.
when you use that. Oh yeah, this is a ranged ultimate cannon type beat. Okay. Freaking destroyed. I do enjoy the feeling of being overpowered in this world. So this shouldn't take long, hopefully. Oh, but I'll still have to grind during that crab segment, yeah. Do you see Terra flying there? Do you see him? What? No, wait, that's Goofy? Well, and Donald, they're flying. They're just levitating. Aqua and Vin got, like, BTFO'd, and in their place were psychic Donald and Goofy. Look at him! And look at Aqua and Vin just, like, phasing in and out of reality. Yeah, I'm with that guy. You see that guy with his mouth agape? That's me. That's me watching this cutscene. Look at Aqua and Vin continuously falling off the ship. they keep spawning in and falling. Okay,
Aye, Captain.
I thought so.
I bought a haunted copy of Kingdom Hearts 3 from a garage sale.
Sir?
There's been a perpetual and virulent lack of discipline upon my vessel. Why?
Sir, you're in Davy Jones' locker, Captain.
Davy Jones' locker?
Nurses, he's talking about a ship
I know
again.
that. I know where I am.
Nurses, he
And
thinks
don't
he's a
think
pirate
I
again.
don't. I'm in Davy Jones' locker. Assuredly.
Jack Sparrow.
Wait, is Jack taller than Terra, or did Terra's model shrink?
Barbosa!
Ah, Hector! It's been too long.
Oh god.
Isn't it?
Oh god. Oh, look at him.
Villa de Muerta, remember? You shot me.
No, I didn't.
Sora, we meet again.
You can see
It's
you
lovely
can
to
see
see you
Goofy's shadow,
Oh,
despite him
Will,
not being present.
Elizabeth, Is
I am captivated by
something
this.
about you different?
Yeah, you look all swashbuckly.
Well, I've
Oh,
seen some
okay.
adventure,
Recent Kingdom Hearts discourse
but I
on
never
Twitter.
thought I'd find you here.
Nomura made this
where
very odd
exactly
statement
is
about
here?
how it would be hard
What's
to
all this
fit
about
Final
a
Fantasy
locker?
characters in,
Davy
considering how
Jones'
many
locker. Jack
original
needed to repay
characters
a
there
certain
are now.
debt to Jones.
And I don't get that
So Jones
argument
sent
at
the Kraken
all,
to devour Jack.
because the
And
role
that's how
of
he ended
Final
up
Fantasy
here.
characters have always been relatively small.
And
Like, they've
Davy
never taken
Jones'
up a
locker?
huge
You're saying
fraction
that
of the plot.
we've
They've
gone
just always
beyond-
been, like,
Beyond the
kind of thrown
grave?
in as, like, fun little additions to the Disney stories.
And we're here
Like
to
Orin in the
rescue Jack
Hercules
from his
world.
fate.
Or just, like,
Tears all.
I guess the
About
whole, like, Dream
have
Drop
an
Distance is the
agreeable sense
closest
of the
the
macabre
Square
any
characters
degree.
came to being, like, an integral part of the plot, because
thinks
there
we're
were no Disney
hallucination.
characters in Traverse Town. It was just about the Square
Compete with these
guys.
three masqueraders.
But Shibuya, since it's a hub world, you could just
This is
throw in a
real, we're
few
here.
Final Fantasy cameo
We've come to
characters in
rescue
there,
you.
and just have them hang out and have Sora interact with them, and people would be a-okay with that.
Have you now? That's very
Like,
kind
that
of
would
you.
be, like, I feel like the
Seeing
bare
as I
minimum
possess a
least
ship and you don't,
they could do.
You're the ones in need of rescue.
And, like, yeah, I know the
I'm not
games
sure
could
as I'm
still be
in
good
the
without that. It's just, like, I feel like you could just throw us a bone
Is
here.
the heart of Davy Jones. He controls the
Like,
Flying
it's
Dutchman.
not,
He's taking over the
like,
seas.
Final Fantasy,
he
or,
lost his
yeah, Final
faith.
Fantasy and
The
Square
brethren
characters
cast
aren't a
his
make or
power
break
with-
thing when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. Because if
Leave
they
you
released a
people alone for just
totally,
a minute,
like,
look what happens.
garbage game, but there were a
Everything's
bunch
gone
of
to
Final
pot.
Fantasy characters, that wouldn't suddenly fix it, you know?
I'm
Like, a
lost.
game could be amazing and then
going
have no Final Fantasy
Well,
representation, or, like, Square
Sounds to me
characters.
like this Beckett fella
but
they mentioned
it's
is trying
cool.
to conquer the ocean.
And it's a nice thing to have in.
Oh,
But Nomura,
Yeah,
key to
no
that statement is
conquerors.
Nomura never said that it's
Listen, Jack,
impossible to put in
world
Final
needs you
Fantasy
back something
characters, or that
fierce.
he'll never
And
do it.
you need a
He
crew.
just said it would be difficult, which,
Why should I sail with any of you?
I don't know, that's
Four
questionable.
of you have tried to
But a bunch of
annihilate
people
me.
have been going on Twitter
Jack,
saying
We're on
that,
your
like,
side.
no, Kingdom Hearts doesn't need Final
There you are,
Fantasy
mates.
characters at all.
I never could have
It's
caught
like-
the pill without you.
Like,
Sora,
I guess they're not an
Will,
absolute
Goofy,
necessity,
you're
but
hired.
I sure as heck would
Now,
like them in the
as
game.
for the rest of you,
Like, they would be a cool addition, and it would be more than possible to add
you're
them.
in. Gibbs, you can come. Weigh anchor, all hands. Prepare to make sail.
Like, I don't know why people don't have the more nuanced view of, I'm excited for this, and I'm a fan of this,
Which way you going?
but also, I would like it if, these features were added, you know. Like, there's a line between, like, toxic hater fan and,
Mr. Sora, the helm is yours.
like,
Provided
absolute.
you pass muster.
Like, there should be a middle ground between someone who worships a series no matter
Should I
what
find
it
a man
does,
with a two
and
piece?
someone who, like,
Prove you can
seemingly
reach
hates
that.
on a series no matter what it
The
does, you
open
know?
sea is yours.
Like, there should be nuance. I'm very excited. Even if Kingdom Hearts 4 doesn't have any Final Fantasy representation whatsoever, I would be satisfied as long as it ends up being, like, just a good game. They are still spawning in and out of reality. I'm frightened. If it was, like, the best game in the series but had no Final Fantasy characters, like, that would be like, I wouldn't say, oh, well, you know, this game's a 0 out of 10 despite having the best gameplay and story in the series because, like, Cloud didn't show up. But at the same time, how hard would it be to have, like, some Final Fantasy character show up in Shibuya, just as a little, like, just like as a neat little thing. Since it's the world of the dead, you could have characters who passed away in their stories show up there. The Vin, get back on the ship. What are you doing? Like, yeah, you could have I mean, that would kind of be a massive spoiler for these stories, but if it's a character who, like, from the beginning of the story we already know is dead, you could have them be in Shibuya since it's like an afterlife for some characters.
How does he do it?
Since Ever Crisis is coming out, you could have, like, you know, a certain someone from that game featured just, like, in Shibuya. Or you could have Neo The World Ends With You characters there, just hanging out. They don't have to have a huge integral role, you can just, like, run into them around town. Like, that's honestly all I'm really asking for. Like, it's not an absolute need, like, it is a thing I want. Like, it's a feature I want in this game. And, like, in the series' future in general. Like, not make or break, but, like, I think Kingdom Hearts fans should be allowed to want that and be allowed to be disappointed if they don't get it. But also realize that, you know, like, a game isn't an automatic 0 out of 10 without that feature. Which I think most people get. It's just, like, certain die-hard fans are... I guess one guy took screenshots of, like, the absolute worst examples of people's behavior in response to that. And, like, okay, sure, I'm willing to denounce statements where people are calling the Mora a joke for bringing up the possibility of not having Final Fantasy characters in. Like, yeah, that's an excessive reaction.
I've never seen one like that.
But that doesn't... Because there are people out there making the dumbest version of a point, doesn't mean that there's no merit to the point. It just means that those people need to, like, chill and find a non-obnoxious way to make that argument. Find, like, a non-toxic and disruptive way to make that argument as well.
Don't impugn me honor. Why would I conspire with them?
But you did conspire with them.
Could you discuss it later?
Huh?
Get ready!
These are, like, the only cutscenes that Donald and Goofy force themselves into. Like, they are fighting against fate in order to make sure they show up in these scenes. Meanwhile, Aqua and Vin are fighting for their lives just to not disappear. The story of this world is secretly about the struggle between Aqua, Vin, Donald, and Goofy. Also, one kind of positive thing that I can glean from that statement about so many original Kingdom Hearts characters is that I was a bit worried that Kingdom Hearts 4 would just kind of ignore the original characters. Like it would just ignore all these subplots that have been opened in favor of just focusing on the main thing, and just kind of throw everyone else to the wayside. But the one positive we can get from that statement is that all the side characters like Terra, Aqua, Vin, Roxas, Lee, Aiza, Shion, like, all of them will be a major focus, so much so that, like, Nomura thinks it'll be challenging to add Final Fantasy characters. And if they're really that much of a focus, then we'll at least be... Fans of those characters will at least be eating, even if, like, fans of the cameos are gonna starve out a little bit. I'll see what these animations look like, even though I could just beat this guy the easy way. But yeah, I still look forward to the game, even if there ends up being, like, absolutely no Final Fantasy content. Just, I hope there is, all. Ooh. Like, something cool to replace the Sephiroth fight, at least. No, you fool, don't do the thing twice. Because this game at launch was desperately missing content on par with that. What? How did I get hit during the cutscene? Get real. Get real. Okay, let me just catch up to these guys. My transformation from the previous fight is still active. That is insane. Can I... Okay, good. Oh, wait. Okay, there's the main guy. Ow, ow, ow. Actually, that didn't hurt that much since I'm overpowered. If anything, the only bad part about these guys attacking me is that like, my rate of damage goes down. Because I get stunned. This guy's gonna be demolished. Yeah, I can just keep firing at him like this. Easy strat. Yep. I need to equip those abilities when I get the chance. I don't want to jinx it, but like, I'm not dropping, like, frames here. He did the one frame, the one note of Ultra Instinct flash in.
Oh, right.
And now he's gonna do that Looney Tunes realizing that you can't fly thing.
Well, wait.
Which isn't even a thing with this mod, that's actually a thing that happens in this cutscene. Did you see Aqua and Vin falling there? Oh, that was so good. I'm sorry for cackling like a demon, but that was like the funniest. Oh my god.
Where are the others?
After you failed,
I'm looking
we
forward
came
to the
looking for you.
Hikaru Utada
Guess they
song.
must have kept going.
So long as it doesn't freaking...
Oh.
Look, I mean,
And I was
Skrillex
so
seems like
happy
he's
that we got to see
legitimately a
them again.
fan of the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and good for him getting to work on one of the game's songs, but man, I felt like I got so cheated, thinking I was gonna get a remix of, Don't Think Twice, and then getting this, like, messy dubstep song instead. Like, the parts where Face My Fears is a Hikaru Utada song are great, and the parts where they're a Skrillex song, they sure are a Skrillex song. But there's, like, for, like, 10 seconds during the song, there's this perfect union between the two styles, and it actually sounds great. But then it goes back to being overpowered by one or the other.
So, let's go get
And
one.
it's like,
Oh. Yes.
just not the best. But we still have Don't Think Twice from this game, so that's good.
Cut from the same cloth.
I'm wondering what the tone of Kingdom Hearts 4's intro is gonna be like. Because they'd progressively been getting, like, slower and slower. Like, there was, like, the first, Simple and Clean was, like, the fastest, most, like, fast-paced, energetic one. Then Sanctuary was a bit more slow and somber. Then Kingdom Hearts 3, Don't Think Twice was, like, the slowest we had. And even, Face My Fears was very, like, slow and somber. So I'm wondering for the beginning of this new arc, we're gonna be getting something more, like, high energy for the main song. It's funny seeing him just randomly pull this out. Okay, equipment. Oh yeah, the no-name. I should use that this world. A most ancient Keyblade. Okay, and abilities, I don't really need Counter Kick. I like having Counter Hammer. We could go for another Air Slide. My AP feels lower than usual. Oh, it's because I got rid of those, like, rings that made it higher. Okay. Okay, yeah, now I got more. Let me make absolute sure not to save over any of my other files. Okay. So how are Aqua and Vin gonna handle underwater? Oh, they're not. They're just not going to. I really... Okay, let's see how close I am to leveling up. Oh, okay. I'm close to leveling up, so I'm gonna defeat a few. Aqua is still somehow managing to cast Thunder here. Ow. Okay, there we go. But I'm most excited for, the stories that the original Kingdom Hearts characters are gonna be going on. Like, what their journeys are gonna bring for them next. Oh my god, because so many of... Like, I just wonder what they're gonna be doing in this new arc of the story, especially ones from the era of fairy tales like Vin and Marluxia and Elrena. It is so weird seeing them suddenly pop in underwater like this. Oh, this is so wacky. The underwater voice filter even works for them. I wonder if this mod creator knows what they've created here. Like, if they just never intended for us to use these party members in this world, and they were just like, oh, this will be fun for post-game content. Meanwhile, I'm here trying to play through the whole game with this. I'm just mesmerized by this. Like, I can't believe this is the thing that works and is happening. That's nutty. That's nutty. How's that real? How's that a real thing? Ow. Ow. Also, how are these jellyfish doing more damage than the enemies we just fought? Who trained them? Wait, no. That's a trick. The real way we're supposed to go is down here, yeah. I remember not in the last playthrough, I like didn't get the map and got lost. In the most pointless way. Descend. And might as well save here just in case things go horribly wrong. If I can freaking... Terra's extra height makes swimming extra awkward. Okay, there we go. Hello?
Look! Something's glowing.
Nice swimming, you guys. Just floating completely still underwater, yeah. Ericus's swimming lessons, were very peculiar.
But Donald, no pirate worth his salt ignores treasure.
More... So, apparently there's been controversy with, Sonic Frontiers since the director made a kind of yikesy... Well, I hate that wording. Social media's kind of ruined the word yikes because it has such a bad correlation with it, but... He made a not-so-great statement. Kind of condescending statement, about how, like, the people criticizing... Sonic Frontiers and how it looks so far don't understand the game, and whatever. It's like, yeah, that's just not a good statement. He also expressed that the game will not be delayed. Which, honestly, looking from that most recent build, where there was, like, significantly less pop-in, and the gameplay actually looked fun, I don't know if it necessarily needs to be delayed. But yeah, that whole statement, was not good. Possibly the worst statement he could have made. Like... Oh my god? Is that always how Sea Blizzard has looked? That is the craziest look. Oh my god. What? I mean, yeah, I guess if you cast ice underwater, it would just freeze everything around you, but... That is insane. That's the first time I've ever seen that effect. Crazy. No! Okay. Oh my god, his body just freaked out. What was that? Did you see the way he ragdolled? That was, it made my flesh crawl. Oh, I hated that. What was that? Ew. Okay, let's all try to forget we saw that. Yuck. It has been excessively hot in Florida recently. And I keep seeing people who live in places that actually have seasons say, I love it when it's hot outside. It's so great when it's over 100 degrees. I love it. And like, I have to keep reminding myself that these people don't have to constantly live somewhere where it's always summer. For me, like, summer is just the same old crap, but worse. For them, summer is like a much needed break from like rainy and snowy weather. Like if I lived in a place like Sweden and it began and winter came, that wouldn't be exciting. It would just be, oh great, more snow. That stuff I get year round. But seasons are great because no one type of weather outstays its welcome. Like the second you start to get tired of one type of weather, the season changes. But man, people who live in places with seasons are You guys are way more spoiled than you realize, alright? If you lived where I live for like a few years, you'd get, like, it would be, the constant summertime weather would be cool for like 2 weeks, and then you'd get sick of it.
Jack, you already have the Black Pearl.
I mean, and as someone who loves snow, I'd probably feel the same way about, like, living in Sweden.
Take what you can.
Like, seasons are good. It's nice not constantly having to deal with the same weather day in and day out.
Captain, but it does appear I'm in need of a crew.
But tragically, I am a Floridian.
Suppose you'll have to do. Don't dawdle. I'm aboard.
You don't choose Florida. Florida chooses
Ready
you.
enough, Captain, but
And you have no choice
aren't
but to
we
say yes.
Kinda trapped?
Nurses, Jack is, pretending that he's the captain of the ship again. He's talking to his, friends from the other worlds.
Just follow your
Can we, get him some help for that?
Aye, the sea's yours to explore.
Okay, and this shouldn't crash the game because I took out all the mods that were doing that. I remembered to do that ahead of time so that we don't have to deal with any nonsense. Does me being over-leveled translate to my ship? That would be very nice.
I'll say.
She's got nothing on the pearl, mates.
Okay, Jack. Alright. Oh, okay, Kenobi. We gotta talk about Kenobi. Cause I was a bit let down when I saw that people weren't, like... I was thinking the series was just okay, and I saw a lot of people saying it was just straight up bad, and that was extremely disappointing for me. So I've been looking through the series with a more critical eye, just to see what I'd been missing. And yeah, episode 3 was both a highlight and also had a lot of problems. Specifically with the scene where Vader just looks at he looks at the fire in front of him and just kind of lets Kenobi get away, does nothing about like the 3 feet of fire in front of him. Even though he showed earlier in that scene that he had the power to put that out. Like, I get why he doesn't just kill Kenobi immediately. He wants, like, to toy with him, but...
Of course.
Letting him get away there led to so much trouble down the line where it could have been avoided.
Yes. Surprising, isn't it, that they do me the honor?
And,
Never count your cards until they've all been dealt.
Jack, don't you get this
the chase sequences were very goofy.
Come now. Are you really so
I still think that one tweet of,
unsophisticated
modern Star Wars is so good and great, is really annoying. Like, I hate that format, and I'm so glad it died off. That was, like, the most obnoxious thing.
When said pirate offers to confabulate.
Ah, yes. And how could I love games and contests without honoring the rules?
And
Because
the next...
only by winning fairly does victory have any savor.
And there was also the fact that Leia didn't know how to fix her own droid, but she somehow knew how to, like, fix that one piece of technology she'd never seen before in Episode 5.
A chest, perhaps. You know the one.
Like, what is this character's technological knowledge supposed to be? I get her being able to crawl through vents and stuff because she was always running away. Like, she was always out exploring the forest on her home planet.
Really?
She doesn't act like a typical princess, I get that. But it's weird that when, like, when tasked with fixing a piece of technology she's had her entire life, she doesn't know how to do it. But with, when tasked with fixing a piece of technology she'd never seen before, she's suddenly able to do that. That's pretty inconsistent. Was he always wearing eyeliner here? Or did this mod add that?
You want.
So yeah, that's one thing I did take issue with. They did explain one thing I took issue with, which is Reva somehow knowing Vader is Anakin.
Jack!
Drop canvas!
Hey, Jack!
The reveal of her being a youngling wasn't a surprise, but the other reveal in that episode, I think, was supposed to be the actual
Can't
twist.
let him get his hands on that box. Do you really know whatever it is that he's
I'm surprised. They gave a content warning at the beginning of episode 5 that, like, some content may be disturbing for some viewers, and I was like, oh, what are they gonna show here? They actually showed the clips of, Anakin killing the younglings. Like in the prequels, they just showed him igniting his lightsaber and then it cut away, but in this series, they actually... It's, like, very brief, but you see shots of him striking younglings with his lightsaber. Which is, you even get, like, a perspective shot of one youngling getting stabbed with a lightsaber, which is pretty intense, considering Disney, considering Disney's aversion to graphic violence. Like, they had this stupid thing where they made Falcon and the Winter Soldier edit out sequences of violence. And then they go from that to younglings straight up being killed on camera. So that was... yeah, that was insane. But Hayden Christensen, he's very clearly older in those sequences, but I just appreciate that it's actually him and not like some sort of deep fake. The fight sequences, the lightsaber duels, very good, very well done. You can tell that they're doing a lot of stuff practically, and avoiding, like, a lot of the problems that the prequels had with, overusing CG. So I enjoyed the sequence of those two, like how they spliced that sparring sequence in with, the sequences in the actual episode, like showing Obi-Wan's like knowledge of his old apprentice. It's pretty cool. There was something else I had a problem with, though, that I'm drawing a blank on, sadly. Ow. Ow, hey. Okay.
Don't let up now.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's go, let's do it. I'm so nervous.
Fire! Cannons! Let's do this!
Wait, what? I think that's slowing us down, actually. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, we win, actually. Oh, wow. I just looked at the little meter showing how close we were versus how close he was. We kind of smoked him. Huh. Cool.
Lookouts, report.
Starboard side, all clear.
Yeah, it's clear because no one's there, including you.
We got this one in the
You
bag.
do not exist.
The game isn't over until it's over.
Oh, the sequence with the ship showing up out of nowhere. So we get that cool scene of Vader, like, pulling down the entire ship just by himself using the Force. But then that cool sequence is immediately undercut by another ship spawning out of nowhere and taking off, which opens up a bunch of, like, questions. And, like, it just opens up a bunch of questions about why the plan was done that way. If they had two ships, what the purpose of that was. Why he was able to pull down the first one but couldn't... I guess he was tired from pulling down the first one or something? I don't know. Like, that was just so weird. Like, it just showed up out of nowhere. The plot-convenient second ship. Like, I would love to hear an explanation as to why that was done that way. If there is any. But that feels like a huge butthole plot convenience thing. Oh, another thing. not necessarily something I have a problem with, but just like a piece of Star Wars lore that like most people aren't going to be aware of going into this, is that getting shot with a blaster to the gut is like basically a death sentence, while a person could actually survive getting stabbed by a lightsaber. That's actually like lore consistent. That's not Kenobi coming up with like plot contrivances. That is lore consistent, but it's like a weird lore consistency thing. That's why certain characters survive getting stabbed with lightsabers, because apparently, lore-wise, lightsabers are so incredibly hot that they, like, cauterize the wound immediately. So if you're strucken by one, you have a chance of not bleeding out if you're, like, stabbed with it, rather than being slashed with it. But blasters, on the other hand, don't leave a clean wound. They actually, like, bleed. So you're much more likely to die if you get, like, shot in the gut with one of those. So, like, this episode is plot consistent when it comes to that, but it's like a weird plot detail that I feel like most people aren't gonna pick up on. And they maybe should have been a bit more clear with that, but...
Hear my call.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh,
Let's do this.
Cannons, let's go. Hey, what, Hey, okay, I'm still hitting them during the cutscene. Good. Exactly what they deserve. Whoa, whoa, what am I being hit by? Oh my god, oh my god. I didn't see that other ship there. Okay, this part can be a bit spooky because there's no way to heal. No, no, no. Oh, please. Oh, come on. Yeah, focus. Focus on what's there. Another... Wait. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, the Grand Inquisitor, as people were suspecting, he's back. It is interesting that Anakin essentially, or Vader essentially confirmed that he was like, yeah, I let one random youngling live, kinda. I felt like it. Or at least that's what I assumed the "you think I did not notice" youngling line meant. But the battle sequence between Reva and Vader I thought was pretty sick. And I know how much people hate it when you point out the plot problems in something, and then at the end go, oh, but this fight sequence was cool, like, people despise that. But I believe there can be, like, you can recognize that, like, artwork can be multifaceted, you know? Like, I don't have to say everything about a thing sucks because some parts of it I thought were bad. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking at Kenobi with a much more critical eye, so that I don't end up missing out on like massive problems and inconsistencies and all that. Oh, for the love of God, die. Okay, board a ship. Go, go, go. Get on, get on, get on, get on. How? Okay, good, good.
Another game it is, then.
Yeah, his shading is really weird. Guess it doesn't hurt to see what this looks like with these two. But yeah, so far I give the, like, honestly, I don't dislike the show, but I do see a lot of the problems, and I don't know how much rewatchability it has for me. Let's see what this shot lock is. Oh my god! That shot lock is the one that destroys my frame rate. Pretty sure a second wave of enemies get spawned. Let's see what the level 1 version is. Okay, Dark Volley.
Gotcha.
That guy didn't know who he was targeting. Oh wait, yeah, I want to see this Keyblade's form changes.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. The random things from the like dark ball effects from the Incredible showed up. Also, this is sick. This is sick, by the way. Okay, I get omnidirectional shield from that. Okay, that's incredibly cool. Oh my god.
Gotcha. Let's go.
Oh, it's the thing Ansem does. That's neat. I think this might be one of my favorite Keyblades in this mod.
Okay.
I like this, people don't like this team attack, but hear me out. You're invincible. And you do decent damage. I mean, what else needs to be said? Anybody else feel more groggy than refreshed after taking a nap? I've been having that problem lately where I'm like, man, I'm so tired, I need to take a nap. And then I will, and I'll be like, wow, that did not help. The hallway sequence. That's the other thing I was thinking about that escaped my mind. There's this really goofy hallway sequence that happens. Where all the characters are like cramped and like, it's just shot in such a weird way. And like
You're up to something.
Like the way it's framed and the way it's shot is so bizarre. And like at the end of the day, the thing that I feel should happen in that sequence does happen, considering no freaking way everyone was making it out of that all right. But considering that they're all shooting down a straight hallway, everyone should have been hitting each other immediately.
What it is that you want?
Also, everyone thought that droid was gonna be a guy in a suit. It was in fact a droid.
Easy. I want the chest that's aboard the Dutchman.
No, Jack, don't tell him.
Something about the look Terra gives him is so good.
Not good.
Oh, Jack.
Yeah, he's pulling out the Keyblade to use on Jack.
Which Dutchman?
Actually, I outwitted him.
You knew he'd tell you where it was.
Like, alright, Jack, we gotta put you down.
I've always been far more interested in the long game. Now let's see where it takes us. That is...
This guy's kind of shaped like a Dorito. I don't know why I suddenly thought of that. Uh-oh. Not 3 normal Heartless.
After him.
But yeah, that hallway sequence wasn't great. It was shot in such a weird way.
Why not?
The ship's
Their whole plan in general was just weird.
Should be needing repairs. Best make berth at Port Royal.
But yeah, I don't know where to place Kenobi the tier list of stuff. Well, actually, I do know where to place it somewhat, but like, I don't know. I need to see how things shake out, but like, it's so far
Look for crabs.
giving us
They'll set her right.
really low lows and really high highs. But I can't, and like, I'm the type of guy who doesn't want to ignore any of that, right? I can't just say, dismiss the things that, the parts of a piece of artwork that make me feel something positive just because of the really stupid parts. But I can't ignore the really stupid parts just because the artwork gave me, like, a good feeling. So that's why I feel, like, I don't know, I feel like so far Kenobi, if I were to put it on a numeric value, which I know people say that's arbitrary, but yeah, duh, people's opinions in general are arbitrary. But if I were to put it on a, I mean, I guess I'm somewhat rating it objectively as well, but whatever. Numerically, I'd say it's either a 4 or a 5, like high 4, low 5. Fellas, we can't use Trinity Sled. This is gonna take a while. Oh, I just thought about that. No, get in my pocket. I was like pressing it and wondering why nothing was happening. Yeah, Goofy's not here. Obviously nothing's happening. Alright, time to slowly go through and get all these crabs. But yeah, I think it's pretty cowardly to ignore when a piece of art makes you feel like real things just because, like, of the issues. And I also can't ignore the issues because of those feelings, so I'm just torn on the series, but I don't know. I've never been, like, some people are saying that, like, Star Wars in general should just go away. And, like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this take. I'm always the type of guy where if there's a story to be told and I think it can be done well, I want to see it done well. And I think there are plenty of good stories in Star Wars to be told. So I don't agree with, like, blanket statements like that. This ability is so powerful, it's glitching out parts of the environment. Oh boy, this crab segment is gonna take a while. I might have to go to the part where we get the ship and then end things off. Because it is starting to get late here. Okay, they're staring at crab. It is now time for crab. This freaking crab Rangoon world. Okay. Oh, come on. Quit missing. This is gonna take long enough already. Without Trinity Sled. Okay, you guys, we're kind of in the middle of crab hunting here. We don't have time. Actually, wait. I think there are some crabs underneath this bridge. Yeah, there we go. Crab, 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 crab. Any more? If these enemies dropped crabs, I'd bother with them, but... Sorry, I'm on a crab hunt, guys. Gotcha. I think this is just money. Yeah. Painfully slow crab hunt. Because I did not invite Goofy. I feel like all of Goofy's appearances throughout this world have been a foreshadowing to the inevitable moment where we need him and he wouldn't be there. Bravo, Vince. Come on. I saw a great edit of, well, I actually can't talk about that because that's a massive spoiler for that series that's currently ongoing, so. Less than a month, boys, less than a month. I should get that countdown app, for when I was listening to the Super Mech. Oh god, I'm a guy who listens to a podcast. But I was listening to the, show in which the Super Mega Boys talk to each other. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. And Ryan has, like, the app thingy that, like, shows a little countdown. And it's the same app that well, website that I used when Smash Ultimate was coming out all those years ago. So I feel like I should hop on that too and get the app for, use that app for when Better Call Saul is returning. I forgot that this place had so many crabs in it. Like this little fortress part up here. In future playthroughs, I need to immediately come to this part. Yeah, that finisher seems pretty solid to me. I don't know. Thank you. Okay. Oh, also, I think I've hit on this note before, but... Oh, these just shoot out crabs that I don't feel like jumping in the ocean to go get. I've hit on this note before, but let's not pretend like Kingdom Hearts 2 is a bad game while defending this game. Multiple games can be good at once. I hope you guys... Oh, come on. What? No, don't invisible wall me out. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this, but multiple games can be good at once. You don't have to tear one down in order to sing the praises of the other. Like, that feels like a spite-motivated argument. Like saying, oh, you dislike the thing I like? Well, the thing you like is actually bad. Like, the only reason I brought up the Finny Fun stuff, these crabs kind of make my flesh crawl. I don't like them. I just realized that about myself. I don't like these guys. Not a big fan. Maybe it's because I saw the fish's model freak out earlier, and that's still, like... I still have, like, bad vibes from that. But anyway, yeah, like... I brought that point up because they were making... The person who made that post were making it look as though, the entire Kingdom Hearts series didn't have goofy sequences with Disney characters. But that wasn't supposed to be a dig at the other games. In order to make this one look better, it was specifically done... I was specifically saying that to make the point that, the thing they were criticizing exists in literally every Kingdom Hearts game. And it exists in worse forms in the other games, so... I basically just thought they could have made that argument better considering there were other things in the Frozen world that deserved to get criticized way more than the Olaf minigame.
There, mates. Fit to sail any sea. Now, Sora.
Oh wait, Terra is taller than him. I guess it was a
particular reason
camera
you
thing.
wanted this ship.
Yeah. To explore the seas. Free as the wind.
Good answer. You are a pirate, Captain Sora.
But Jack,
We're going
why
with
do
the
you keep
One
saying
Piece model of
final?
pirates, where pirates are just
you're
like
leaving.
cool fellas who
Yeah.
want to explore the world
It's
freely
because
and not
this me has run his course,
awful
mate.
scumbags like they were historically.
This you.
Aye, the surrogate me that the goddess of the sea sent here to help you lot. Of course, any me is still me. I may be duplicatable, but I'm always incomparable. The sea.
Aqua's finally
she
allowed to be in
smiles
one of these
upon us, Sora.
cutscenes.
And let's leave it at that, shall we? For now, the real me has a crucial engagement. At Shipwreck Cove, where the pirate brethren will meet Beckett and his lot in battle to win back our freedom.
Then let us help.
No, it's for pirates to resolve, but not you, Sora.
I wish they did just let
You're
them
as
resolve
free as
this
the
on their
wind
own.
now, and far you'll go.
Because having Sora, Donald, and Goofy be present, I've talked about this a million times before, but having Sora, Donald, and Goofy be present and cheer them on while they kill a bunch of people always seemed extremely wrong to me. Crab Rangoon.
So, Jack was showing us the way.
Even if you did get tricked.
Jack, he said it was the pirates' battle to fight. But a fight for pirates is a fight for us! Come on, let's find the real Jack.
Like, they of course could have helped out with the Davy Jones part. But the part with the sinking the ship filled with those other people was like... What? That feels bizarrely out of character. For the sake of having them in this Disney cutscene. Like, that sequence works more with Jack's morality, but Sora's morality always felt a bit different than that, so it was just... I don't know, it's just the most wrong feeling thing. Okay, I need to locate the island that has like a bajillion crabs so I can grind that out. Every single playthrough, I end up forgetting and have to, like, re-remember. I have to get Project Imaginary Number working. That mod is way too cool. It was, like, one of the first to do this thing where it replaces every instance of Sora with a different character. And it deserves to have a showcase on this stream. Just gotta get my freaking computer to work with it. The Crab Island is literally a straight shot away from Port Royal. Why was I having such a hard time finding it before? Hopefully the super ultra mega giga death ship doesn't show up. Ruin my entire night.
Fire!
There we go.
Yes! Our friends are waiting for
Figured
our
I might as well finish those guys off. So level 5 is the safe place to be at so that you don't get completely destroyed coming up on this next part. Literally just like a straight line there to
Fire!
Super Ultra Crab Island.
Hear my call!
Come here. And it also has a bunch of really good equipment.
Yeah, we need to go in prepared, or we'll only get in the way.
Is this the right island? Oh, no, no, no. Really? Are you kidding me? Out of all places to spawn. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Did I ever tell you guys about the worst Smash roster take I've ever heard? When people were not so pleased about Pyra Mythra getting in, one guy said that it was just because they were from a series that... Excuse me! How rude! Really? Just gonna do that? Do me like that? One guy said that, like, oh, it was just because they're from a series that you didn't play. Which, okay, wait, okay. Which, that logic is wrong for so many reasons, because I've never played Banjo-Kazooie, I was still excited for them in Smash. Never played Final Fantasy VII, I was excited for Cloud in Smash. I have played games with Piranha Plant in them, wasn't excited for them in Smash. Like, there is no absolute correlation between whether or not... Oh, I did play Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I still wasn't excited for... which is a game in the Xenoblade series, and I still wasn't excited for Pyra and Mythra. So, I just think that was kind of awful logic. Like, of course, Smash Ultimate has, like, the biggest... one of the best character rosters ever. But my whole mentality is that they can't all be winners, and Nintendo's, a lot of the character inclusions were Nintendo's choice, and I didn't personally, like, force Sakurai and his team to add any of these characters, even the ones that I did want. And also, they're not just giving they weren't just giving us these characters as a gift out of the kindness of their heart. It was paid DLC. In the corporate product that we decided to buy. If people just express the desire not to want to buy certain products, then I think that's fair. Like, it's not just a gift or a favor they're doing for us. We were expected to pay for it, and if someone looked at something and said, nah, I don't want to pay for that. That does not look like something I'm interested in. I would rather... This guy hit me with the dump truck like 3 times. These are the most annoying enemies in the universe. Freaking immune to 90% of attacks, Andes. Freaking interrupt you while you're trying to do literally anything, Andes. Okay, gotta remember elemental weaknesses. For God's sake! Like, I thought I was done getting juggled by the one guy, and then the second guy was like, hi. I'd like to introduce myself. Thank God. Where'd that other barrel of crabs go? I saw it trying to escape. Probably should have actually taken care of the enemies here before. Die. Thanks.
Let's go.
Aqua is absolutely shredding this guy. Thank you for your help. Where is she? Or where is the enemy?
Gotcha. Let's go.
Oh my God, get absolutely eviscerated. Yeah, I don't know why that guy was so determined not to let people be disappointed by that character reveal. Especially since it was done in... I felt like it was done in a very tongue-in-cheek way where they knew a lot of people wouldn't be excited for that. Like, it felt like we were... I was kind of like a really... I hated that character reveal because it felt like we were getting pranked. It really did feel like we were getting pranked. Like, haha, got you. Got you. And also doesn't help that, like, Pyra/Mythra fans were being super obnoxious about it online. Like, they could have just as easily said, okay, I got the thing I wanted. I'll just let people be salty about it if they want, and then just enjoy the thing I have. But they just had to go and rub it in. But at the end of the day, whatever. Because Sora's in Smash, which is the thing that I've wanted, like, more than any other character. So at the end of the day, I still won. Like, I think, like, Pyra/Mythra, Steve... Because I was of the mindset that Minecraft should have been represented through a stage, since that's what Minecraft is actually about. Like, Minecraft Steve is like a meme character. No one actually cares about Steve as a character. He's more just like a funny meme, like, haha, Minecraft, am I right? What if Steve was in Smash, Lamau? Like, that's always what it felt like. Like, no one actually cares about him as a character. It's more about Minecraft representation and, like, the meme of it all. And I felt like if the base game came with a Minecraft stage, that would be representing what Minecraft is actually all about, and what's actually important about it, which is the world. Exploring the environments. Like, Steve is never what mattered the most. Like, the only context in which I see people talk about Minecraft Steve is, like, in a, like, crap post meme type of way. Like, the appreciation for that character always felt insincere and ironic. Which is why I was greatly annoyed by his inclusion more than anything. And then Pyra/Mythra didn't help because it was, like... felt like, yet another, like, disappointing...
Prepare to set sail.
Like, it was for a franchise that already had representation. Already had, like, musical representation. Just, like, more anime sword fighters that... At least Sephiroth, like, he was, like, this infamous... He started the trope of, like, bad guys with long hair and big swords. Like, he was the guy who originated the whole anime... Like, he helped popularize the whole anime sword fighter thing. Like, I think Sephiroth's infamy as a character justified his inclusion more than anything. But Pyra/Mythra, like, it felt like his inclusion helped a part of gaming history in general. Like, he was a big part of gaming history in general, and also it was a big moment for Nintendo and Square's relationship, because up till that point, Cloud was the only... There were no spirits of other Final Fantasy characters, no costumes for them. Only 2 songs from the Final Fantasy series were in Smash, and 1 Final Fantasy stage. And Sephiroth being included just opened up the seal on that. Like, yeah, he was an anime sword fighter, but it's more so what his inclusion represented, the amount of songs we got from that, and just the amount of Final Fantasy stuff in general that we got represented in Smash because of that. Like, it felt like Cloud always only got in by the skin of his teeth and barely got to bring anything with him. But when Sephiroth got invited... Oh, hey, you two. Oh, bye, you two. But Sephiroth's inclusion always felt like it was rectifying that. And, like, it felt like a really big, groundbreaking moment. With Pyra/Mythra, it was just like, well, this sure is going to appeal to a very specific... it's gonna appeal to the fans of this one franchise, and this one franchise only. Like, it's not gonna represent anything big or spectacular. It's not gonna bring in a new franchise. It's not even like a third-party thing. It's just like, hey, fans of this one franchise, let us specifically cater to you right now and no one else. And that was... Yeah, after that point, I was incredibly disillusioned, especially with how obnoxious their fans were on Twitter. Well, not Twitter, but just, like, online in general. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing the annoying Hose Mad post. But yeah, I became disillusioned with Smash character reveals. I just didn't care anymore, and I wanted it to be like the whole era of speculation and Hose Mad, my character got in and yours didn't. Like, using it as a peeing contest. Trying to use it as, like, a method of getting people riled up. Like, using it as a... This is how me and my needs get, like... Like, this is a way of seeking validation and asserting, like, dominance. Like, that whole stupid... I was just ready for all that dumb stuff to be over. And I was completely disillusioned. So going into it, I was expecting... Going into the final character reveal, I was expecting it to be, like, something extremely disappointing. Like, just like a Sword and Shield Pokemon. Something of that nature. Just, like, I don't know why they were building it up so much. I thought it was gonna be another Pyra/Mythra situation where they pranked us. Like, oh, Teehee, you thought it was gonna be something cool. But no, I actually ended up getting the exact thing that I'd always wanted. And yeah, like, after getting brought down to the lowest possible point of, like, not caring about a thing anymore, that was like, it made me care about this thing that I thought I'd lost all interest in. And that was the final note I got to go out on, with, that we all got to go out on. Okay, random buttons keep getting pressed on my controller when I don't mean to press them.
Gotcha.
The frame rate annihilator has struck again. Can you die? Perish. Perish. Thank you. I'm no longer asking. Perish now. I hate the way these guys intentionally show their back to you. They know what they're doing. How could they not know? They always wait until you're in the middle of attacking someone else, and then they sneak up. Worst beings ever conceived by man. I hate them. I hate them. They are my enemy.
Say goodbye.
But yeah, and ultimately I know that, like, what characters do and don't get in Smash isn't the end of the world. It's just, I guess, more so the attitude surrounding the whole thing that became annoying, and the whole culture that emerged because of it. And, like, the whole, like, Hose Mad culture that emerged. And I'm sorry, like, Pyra/Mythra were just, like, an objectively, like, one of the most pointless additions to the roster. Like, I know you like the big booty sword waifus in Smash, because you think they're hot, like, and you like the game that they came from. But can you please acknowledge that, like, out of all the characters added, they were perhaps adding the least. Same thing with the Fire Emblem editions. Just because your series has a lot of characters doesn't mean that a crossover featuring that featuring representation of that series should have a ton of the roster be from that franchise. Like, a series being represented shouldn't mean that, like, having a lot of characters doesn't mean that a ton of them need to be playable. Sonic has a ton of characters. but like only one of them is playable, Sonic. So why is it that like that franchise gets the one character playable? Like, why is it that there are a bunch of franchises in Smash that have like a bunch of characters that could be playable, but they only get like a few, while Fire Emblem gets like to have a ton? I think people are well within their right to complain about a ton of Fire Emblem characters in Smash. But yeah, and there's also the problem of like too many sword fighters, which the Direct with Violet also made fun of. So yeah, people were well within their right to complain about that, and I don't know why anyone would go out of their way to defend it. But at the end of the day, I got the thing I wanted, so... I guess it's just had a lasting impact, you know? Like, to this day, I still think about the attitudes that emerged. And, like, the bizarre arguments that people would make. And the strange things people would ask for. Oh yeah, and the ultimate point I was making is that they added the least to the roster. Besides Fire Emblem characters, they added the very least, because there were already a ton of them. Their franchise was well represented. They didn't need to have a ton of characters in the game, just because there were a bunch of characters in their series. Yeah, and with Fire Emblem, again, we had, like, representations from each different era of Fire Emblem as well. We had the GameCube era with Ike. We had, like, the NES and Super Nintendo era with Marth. And we had the new era with, like, not only Robin and Lucina, but also Chrom. So it's like, okay, at this point, it's like, they already had such good representation for the entire franchise at that point. Like, each of the major 3 different, like, arcs of the series, they didn't need even more pandering to that specific franchise. Like, not only were they eating, they were full, and then it felt like it felt like Nintendo brought out seconds for them. Because, again, Sakurai said multiple times that he wasn't the one choosing the characters, so... I don't like it, even though I dislike some of the character additions, I don't like people blaming Sakurai personally. But the way I look at it is, Smash Ultimate still has one of the best rosters ever, but when you have that many characters, not all of them can be winners. For every, like, Sephiroth and Sora, Banjo-Kazooie, K. Rool, for all characters like that actually add something and are really cool, there are gonna be ones that pander to a very niche, small audience. Characters that were added, because people just wouldn't shut up about it, even though they don't really make sense as playable characters. Stuff like that. And that's just kind of the price of admission when it comes to getting such a good character roster. You're gonna have some duds, inevitably. And you just gotta be able to accept that so that you can appreciate the good parts of the roster. But, like, can we please just accept it? And not, like, be in denial about it and say, no, every single addition to the Smash roster is good, actually. No, we need all those Fire Emblem characters. We need Pyra/Mythra, even though their franchise was already represented, their franchise was already represented through the Rex costume and the several Xenoblade 2 songs that were in the game, and the addition of Shulk being playable. We needed a representation from, like, every generation of Pokemon except Gen 3, I guess. Like, you win some, you lose some. Like, not every single edition is gonna be perfect. But at the end of the day, the roster is still absolutely amazing. But you're not gonna have that many hits without a few misses. I think that's, like, a perfectly fair point to have. There's no such thing as a completely perfect character roster, you know? And Smash Ultimate is no exception to that. But I don't think we should lose sight of how many good additions there are and how... Oh, no! Stop! Stop randomly pressing the X button when I don't want you to. Stop it. But yeah, we should be able to be critical of stuff and then still keep in mind how good something ultimately is. Stop! Stop! Oh my god, my controller keeps randomly, like, spamming the X button. It's really frustrating. But yeah, Sora felt like, as the protagonist to a crossover series, Sora felt like the perfect final character to add. And apparently Nomura was the one who was hesitant while Disney was, like, way on board. Which is interesting, because he thought it, like, conflicted with the lore. So is that suggesting that Sora in Smash is, like, canon to Kingdom Hearts? Because why would he care about the lore implications otherwise? Also, he talks about lore implications even though, like, there's a part where Mario essentially holds a Keyblade, so I guess Mario's canonically worthy to wield one. But yeah, Sora was like the perfect book note end. Even if there were some stinkers in there, Sora was like a perfect book note into this game's roster. He actually brought something that was very... Like, it was something that felt like could never happen, and it was like the perfect ending. While other editions felt like they were pandering to a specific part of, like a very specific niche part of the audience because, like, a certain director at Nintendo wanted their character to be in Smash. Like, that's what the ARMS edition felt like. Like, people only cared about that because it might have been an opportunity for another female character in Smash, but like, you do realize that there are female characters in franchises that people actually care about still, right? Like, female characters in franchises that the creators of that franchise still care about and release content for. You know, if the only good thing about a character being added is their gender, then it might not be a great character. Did you know that someone can be female and also cool? Like, speaking of which, Aqua's right here. I mean, she's kind of, like, unconscious right now, but she's an example of being cool and also female. I said that as if being cool and being a woman contradicted each other. Okay, let me rephrase that. Someone could be a good female rep for a series. Could be like... Basically, yeah, my initial statement of,
Let's go.
You don't have to just settle for cool character or female character. They can be both. It is known to happen.
Gotcha.
Which is why that edition felt pretty bad. The Fire Emblem ones are self-explanatory. Pyramithra was appealing to, like, a very specific niche of, fans. And, like, their character reveal felt like like we were getting trolled.
Prepare to set sail.
Oh, sorry. Like, the way that was revealed really did feel like they were kind of trolling us with it. Steve, I felt like Minecraft should have been a stage in the game from launch, and Steve should have cameoed in the background. Because ultimately, that's what Minecraft is. Steve is just, like, kind of there, while the world of Minecraft is the real main character. That's the thing you care about. The first thing most people do in Minecraft is download a skin to replace Steve. I know for a fact people don't actually care about Steve because the first thing people do in Minecraft is get rid of them. The first... Why would you want to play with as him in Smash if you don't even want to play as him in his own game? That's why I always said Minecraft should have been a stage, not a character, but oh well.
Yes, one must simply marvel at your celerity.
When they weren't, when Minecraft wasn't added as a stage to the default game, it basically became inevitable that the only representation of Minecraft in Smash was going to have to be a playable character. So, it was either that or nothing. And I guess that's preferable to nothing, so... Yeah, Minecraft always had a... like... Minecraft is a very big, franchise, and it always, like... It being in Smash in some way, shape, or form made sense. I just hated that it had to be the character that people, like, don't even want to play as in the actual series itself becoming playable in Smash. That always felt stupid to me, but oh well. It could have been worse. Like, at least Minecraft had, like, a huge following and, like, a bunch of people who wanted that, and not just specific fans of one franchise being pandered to, like Pyra and Mithra. So, whatever. And again, ultimately, a lot of this stuff isn't even worth complaining about. Well, I'm doing kind of a retrospective right now. Since it's all said and done and all over with, I can, like, give my opinion on all the DLC and additions and stuff. Oh, Smash, okay, I always hated Smash speculation videos. Because these speculations and predictions were never reasons why a thing could happen. It was just reasons why the person making the video thought it would be cool if it happened. You know that, like, Koopa Troopa, it would be so awesome, it would be so cool video meme? That's basically Smash YouTubers making quote-unquote prediction videos for what characters should be in Smash. Like, yeah, when the... like, it would just be like, okay, explain your logic for why you think this character either should be in Smash or is going to be in Smash. It would be so awesome. It would be so cool. And that's it. That's...
It ends here. Here we go.
Okay, let's try to get both of them in this. Ah, there we go. Bruh. Oh, the cutscene showing that one ship just slowly falling over. No, no, no. No, 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 no. My aiming is, getting kind of jacked up here. I should probably try leading my shots or something. Ow, ow, ow. They do a lot of damage and I cannot heal. What other DLC characters were there? Joker was cool. The whole Persona franchise and, like, Atlas and ow. Jeez. Stop! Oh my god, these guys do a ton of damage. Where are they gonna show up next? They're right behind me. Come on, get them! Why? I'm hitting them dead on and it's not doing anything. I'm hitting their little weak spots. It should be, like, annihilating them. Destroy it! Thank you. I know I'm not under-leveled for this, because I went and grinded to level 5, which is the level, like, you need to be at for this. Freaking,
It ends here.
Oh god, and they're doing their little disappearing act. Oh, cool. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Wasted that. Yeah, Joker was cool. The first DLC pack had some bangers until Byleth came around and ruined everything. Stop! 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 Knock it off. Oh my god. I swear to god if I have to retry this. Because we also got Terry. And like, yeah, I know Neo Geo SNK isn't like the biggest franchise, but it's like cool. It was cool getting something from that. And Terry being the protagonist of Fatal Fury felt like a good rep. Oh my god! Come on, die, 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 die. I'm taking 1,000,000 damage. These guys aren't dying. My aim is getting all jacked up. Come on! This is so infuriating. Oh my god! And there's no way to heal in these dumb ships. Just die already. Quit teleporting around and die. Oh my god. But yeah, I can't believe the same people who defended Pyramithra were mad about too many, quote-unquote, too many fighters being in Smash. Like, people who would defend like all the Fire Emblem characters and Sword fighters in Pyramithra were like, too many fighters when Kazuya from Tekken got added. Even though all of the fighters, with the exception of Ryu and Ken, who were Echo fighters, so they shared the same character slot anyway. They were all from different franchises, all third party, all had completely different playstyles. Only 2 of them were even Shotos. Okay, you know what? I quit. This is so stupid. Oh my god. Alright. But yeah, it felt weird to me that people defended all the Sword fighters and Fire Emblem characters in Pyramithra, but like, got mad. Or were complaining about too many fighters, even though they were all from different franchises, looked visually distinct from one another, were all from third-party franchises, and had, like, different playstyles. So that was a weird piece of, like, okay, so all these Fire Emblem characters and these other 2, like, all these anime sword fighters, fine. These 4 completely different dudes from different franchises, or 3 different dudes from different franchises, that's too many? You serious? But maybe they were just saying that to intentionally tilt people, but... No, some people were saying it sincerely, because I remember Maximilian Dude having to make a whole video on that. But yeah, I'm straight up rage quitting that mission, because that was incredibly stupid. Do you see what was happening there? But yeah. Banjo-Kazooie, obviously an amazing addition. Sans being added as a Mii costume was hilarious, and I kind of wish that that's what happened with Steve. Min Min, I obviously think, was just like a director. Basically, one of the directors behind ARMS asked for the character to get in, and that was that. A franchise no one really cared about anymore, that people just pretended to care about because it was going to be potentially be another female character in Smash, which it did end up being, which I guess is cool. Who else? Talked about Banjo, Joker, Terry, Byleth. Who was the other DLC character from that pack? From pack number 1. Terry, Banjo, Joker, Byleth. The heck was the other one? Oh, I'm having a major brain fart right now. Who the heck was the other character who got added to the roster through the first DLC pack? It wasn't Sephiroth. Sephiroth was pack 2. Okay, I need to look this up, because I'm, like, my brain is melting. I'll give my quick thoughts on each Smash roster. Okay. So, Joker, I thought it was cool, Persona getting representation. Hero, while it did seem on the surface like another anime sword fighter, it was at least an anime sword fighter from a franchise that was not represented in Smash yet, and also was like such a massive, like had a massive, huge cultural impact in Japan. Also, it was characters in the Akira Toriyama art style, which is a little bit of a, like, I know it's not literally the same as Goku being in Smash, but like, Akira, like Toriyama's art style being in Smash is definitely significant. Yeah, Dragon Quest is like just such a huge thing, so it makes sense. Banjo and Kazooie speaks for itself. Terry was a nice addition. Like SNK, while it's not the biggest, I know it's not the biggest, hugest franchise in the world, it's still adding another franchise, another like third party whole like legacy to Smash, which is cool. Violet, another Fire Emblem character, so who cares? Min Min, the director, just wanted the character in. No one really cared about ARMS still. It was another first party thing, so that was just felt kind of lame. It was like the epitome of, hey, put my thing in. And then they did. Steve and Alex, I already expressed my views that I think Minecraft should have been represented through a stage, and not through a playable character, but since it wasn't a stage in the default game, this was like the only way that they could get representation in, so I guess it's better than nothing. Sephiroth, significant because of the fact that prior to his being added to the game, Cloud was the only Final Fantasy spirit. There was only one Final Fantasy stage, and it only had 2 different songs from FF7. And then when Cloud got added, that, like, a bunch of other stuff came with him. Or when Sephiroth got added, it was like a big symbolic gesture that got a bunch of other Final Fantasy content added to Smash. Pyra/Mythra, on the other hand, just felt like pandering to a very specific, to fans of that very specific franchise that was already represented in Smash already. Not really something I cared for. And also their fans were like kind of annoying about it. Kazuya, I think, was a good ad. It's weird, it felt weird to me that they weren't in the game sooner. Like, considering Namco helps make these games, it was weird to me that Tekken character wasn't in sooner, but better late than never. This is around the point where people started complaining about quote-unquote too many fighters or too many Shotos, which is wild to me, because those are the same people defending, like, the Fire Emblem characters and Pyra/Mythra on the anime sword fighter, so that was a wild argument, but yeah, like I said, Kazuya, Ryu, and Terry, all from different third-party franchises, all visually distinct from one another, and all, like, having entirely different playstyles. And, of course, Sora, again, speaks for himself. Like, the ultimate addition to any crossover game. Just, like, amazing way to end off the game. And I thought Piranha Plant was, like, the worst gag character that got added. I kind of hated the whole haha Plant Gang audience. Because they were the same people saying, Waluigi shouldn't be in because, like, he was, like, another, not only just another Mario character, but a boring Mario character at that. And I'd be willing to accept that argument if those same people didn't turn around and act excited for Piranha Plant. I felt like there were way better gag characters they could have added, rather than just going with, the most generic Mario character they could have gone with. Like, the Mario franchise already has this very, like, samey feel with a lot of its characters. Like, when you compare Mario characters with WarioWare characters, the Mario ones are a lot more samey and safe feeling. So picking from that franchise for the gag character, when that franchise already had a ton of characters in Smash, felt like a really bad call to begin with. And then they picked the most boring character from that franchise too, and I was like, they were just better choices for the gag character. But yeah, that's my thought on all the Smash DLCs things, since my whole plan of finishing the Pirates world in one stream went through. But yeah, see you all tomorrow.